Faith in you. Okay, moving on to agenda item 11, to the board for information, first reading of board policies and administrative policies.
Yeah, you have one administrative procedure. It's 5055. It's basically updating the numerical structure. It's not really changing the procedure at all. It's a law that was passed. It basically said we can only have 3 priorities. So we still have the same number, but we have subsets of priorities now. Thank you, state, for making it more confusing. And then the second one is board policy on workplace violence plan. This went back through College Council as an update. There's no major changes. It's just making sure it's in compliance.
Thank you very much. And this is only for information, similar to what is necessary. Is there any discussion? Anyone guys? Okay, thank you. Agenda item B, Merced Union High School District MCCD College Career Access Pathways Partnership Agreement.
As you all know, we do quite a bit of dual enrollment. It's expanding. Next year we have close to 60 to 70 sections that are scheduled with the Merced Union High School District. By law, you have to review this MOU twice. So this is for information, first round, and then you'll see this again in June for final approval.
All right, thank you very much. Is there any comments by any board member here?
In some of our little high schools, I guess I'm just a little confused. Some of them are part of MCOE, but not part of the Merced Union High School District. So
We have
ones that are on the out, that aren't
Sure.
within this contract. We have other.
We do. We have other MOUs with other high school districts, and we'll also continue to update those as required by the law. But for example, we're doing a Mariposa High School District. It's separate from MUHSD, so you will see these come up as needed. But we've done them in Los Banos, and those high schools, Mariposa, Chowchilla, and the Merced Union High School District. So it's all over in our service area, Delhi. Yeah. So we're doing those in all those districts. This is just for the Merced Union High School District, though.
Any other questions or comments on this item? Seeing none. Item C, hiring of 1 additional full-time sworn police officer and 2 additional full-time campus security guards.
Yeah, typically the classified professional positions aren't brought to the board, but this is such an important issue. I wanted to make sure this board was well aware from the conversations we had related to campus security in both closed session and open forums that we are looking at this very seriously. Vice President Allison has budgeted for next year 1 additional full-time sworn police officer and 2 additional full-time campus security guards to provide heightened presence of security throughout the district and to ensure that we are able to appropriately respond to any safety and security concerns on campus. So wanted the board to be fully aware that we continue to review every vulnerability, and we're taking action on those almost weekly. Things are happening to increase campus safety and security in the district.
Any discussion on that item? Trustee Gill?
I have a question. Would the sworn police officer and the campus security also be at Los Banos campus as well as Merced? Will they go back and forth, or is it specifically for Merced campus?
This is specifically for the main campus here in Merced. We do have a sworn police officer at the Los Banos campus. We also have a security officer presence there. As needed, if we needed coverage over there, this would give us more personnel to provide for coverage and substitutes and to fill in when those officers are not available. Would you add anything to that?
Yeah, that's exactly correct. This provides additional flexibility in case there a need arises in Los Banos.
Right, because I know Officer Martin is there.
I do know that Officer Martin is on the Los Banos campus and often over here, so I just wanted some clarification. Thank you.
Thank you. Any further questions on this item?
I just wanted to say thank you for having additional security, because of everything that's been going on, and we can't have enough. And student safety is a big concern for the board, and this is one positive step towards that.
All right, thank you for that. Any additional comments? Okay, moving on to agenda item 12, board reports. This time we're going to start at the opposite end with Trustee Gill.
So our ASMC's Rock the Vote event was on May 2nd, and that was an event to bring in student voters. It was a great success. It was a really good display of student leaders coming together to ensure the success of this campus project. Veterans Association barbecued for the event. We had all ASMC hands on deck running the attractions, the inflatable attractions, and the elections committee running our polls. Our elections were completely paperless. Students voted through their portal via Blackboard, and that made the process of counting votes instant versus hours long, as we used to count paper ballots by hand. We had the greatest number of students participating in the student government elections that I have ever experienced in my time with ASMC. We had around 560 votes. As mentioned, we had our first reading of our newly revised governing documents, which we will hold a special meeting for the second reading and approval, and then ultimately we'll hold a special election for the student body to adopt the documents as amended. I'd like to thank the board again for granting our contract with the registered parliamentarians who have helped to edit and inform us and guide us along this strenuous process. We knew the size of the task at hand, and we took this on knowing how important it would be to our successors. This is also my final meeting as the student trustee. Yes. I am very grateful for the tremendous opportunity to be the voice of the students alongside the ASMC president. I appreciate all of the guidance that I have received as a student member to this board, and I'd like to leave with a challenge to my fellow board members: to serve your constituents to your greatest ability. With every motion, every vote, every report you give, always keep your constituents in mind. As just as you have been chosen to be their voice, I have been chosen to be the student's voice. I look forward to the great changes to come from this board and from this college and from this community. And again, thank you for your guidance and for this tremendous opportunity. It was my honor. Thank you.
Wow. Trustee Gill.
This next month is going to be a very busy month. President Vitelli gave us a list of things that would be nice for us to attend. I was just looking. Yeah, there's 12 of them on there that you can do. I'd like to offer my congratulations to the Student of the Month, the Student of the Year, part-time faculty, and to Janice Miller. I believe they said classified employee of the month. Sometimes I get my notes wrong. Next month I'll have a real long report because I plan to attend many of these. This month I've been moving, and you don't want to move really even more than once. But anyway, I won't be able to attend the agricultural one, and I've never missed that one, all the time I've been on the board, but I have to this time. I'm going to go to the active shooters response training, but President Vitelli said I couldn't bring my gun. So, I don't know. Anyway, thank you. Have a good evening.
Thank you very much, and thank you for advising her appropriately, President Vitelli. Trustee Jordan.
Hear, hear.
Thank you. First of all, I do congratulate all those that we have honored tonight for their dedication and hard work. Last Friday, my wife and I had the privilege of attending 2 events here. And I sense more clearly than ever something that has been in my thoughts since I came on the board. And I can see that it has definitely increased. And I'm talking about a thread that has run through all of the different activities and groups and so forth at this college. I was in attendance at the CalWorks and CARE program. And I had to stop and realize the people who work here, the people who are here day after day, I sense such an undergirding, strong commitment to seeing students succeed. When these young people were honored in the Cal Works and Care program, when they shared some of their backgrounds, I had to stop and think, my word, would I have been able to have overcome such a background? And in many cases, I had to say, well, thank God you didn't have to. But the individuals who were working with them, they were so completely devoted to seeing these students succeed. And I just want to highlight that because I have sensed it more strongly in the last couple of years than when I first came on the board. And I believe that you have 7 board members and student trustees sitting up here who feel the same way. I'm not sure that we have always shown that, but I know that we rejoice when we see the students succeed, and we're thankful for those who make their success possible. And I'm just delighted tonight to share that with you because I also went to the chorale on Friday night, and I have never heard such tremendous musical ability shown through the selected songs by 16 singers. There were 4 in each group, bass, tenor, alto, and soprano. And it was marvelous to see how our instructor was able to bring out something very special that not one of them would have been able to do by himself or herself, but in working all of them together, it was just superb and outstanding. And I would like to also thank our Mr. Mitchell for his 4+ years serving in the same capacity that I served for 10 years, my last 10 years of teaching. It's not easy to be the president of the faculty. First of all, working with the faculty is like herding cats. To keep them all going, hopefully in the same direction. And my hat is off to you. I haven't always agreed on everything with you, and you haven't always agreed with me. But I respect you highly for the contribution that you have made and the success that the faculty has experienced under your leadership. And I would say the same thing for Mr. Camacho. You have great days ahead for you. You have shown yourself to be an outstanding leader. And I hope I live long enough to read about you in a magazine or in newspapers, hopefully not just the Sun Star, about some of the things that you are going to accomplish. I'm sorry for taking so long, but I felt I needed to say that. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Trustee Jordan. Trustee Ochoa.
Thank you, Board President Ramirez, and I'd like to start off by thanking Trustee Gill for all her valuable input up here at the dais. I really appreciate her, and we are definitely gonna miss her. So thank you. And I'd also like to congratulate all the wonderful presentations that we made today. Congratulate all of those people that received awards. That's my favorite part of the board meeting. It's always very heartwarming to learn about the student of the month and the student of the year. Very impressive, 2 young ladies. That's the kind of, that's the kind of stuff that I like to share with my constituents in my area. Just because I'm proud to be here. It elevates our college, and I'm proud of our college. And the 4 young ladies that received their recognition, the Alpha Gamma Sigma Honor Society. What an achievement. So I'd like to congratulate them. And it's been said up here many times, the part-time faculty is valuable to our district, so congratulations to all of them. I'd like to welcome our new VPI. I was very impressed with her resume. So I look forward to working with her and seeing all the excellent things she's going to do for our students here at Merced College. And I'm also very proud of all the resolutions we passed today. I think it's the largest amount of resolutions at a board meeting. And I'd like to honor all the classifieds again. You know, we wouldn't be able to provide what we provide to our students without them. I did have the pleasure this month to attend some of our high school visits in my area, which is the city of Atwater Area 2, and I attended those visits with Vice President McCandless and Dr. DiCarlo and their team, and they did an excellent job of setting the pathway and the transparency, you know, in every which way that our campus could just be there to help them. And it was very rewarding to listen to everyone we spoke to on how appreciative they were of the outreach. And there was a lot of excitement about the college promise and all the new opportunities when it comes to dual enrollment. So I see nothing but good years ahead. And I'd like to also, you know, thank all the retirees for their years of service and dedication. I'm looking forward to the reception for them. And all of the presidents that we've been listening to this past year on their excellent reports of all the excellent things and achievements that they're doing. I thank all of them for their service, and you know, I wish the best of luck to all the new incoming presidents for those constituencies, and I look forward to working with them as well. And looking forward to commencement here, which is right around the corner. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Trustee Gutierrez.
Okay, I'll keep mine under 20 minutes. Congratulations to our Student of the Month, Maria Perez, and our Student of the Year, Stephanie Oliveira. The Alpha Gamma Sigma State Scholarship recipients, congratulations to them. That's very impressive. We're very proud of them. Thank you, Trustee Gill, for your dedication. You're a fine example for as a student representative, and very grateful that you were part of our board, and wish you the best. And thank you, Cody, also as well, for all the time you put in, and you're a great representative as well. So good luck to you in the future. Congratulations to all the part-time faculty. And thank you, Patrick, for what you do as well. Congratulations to and welcome to our incoming VP of Instruction, Kelly Fowler. A big thank you to Dr. Brian Ellison for your years of service. I want to just give a little report on an activity. We talked about how awesome our students are here on campus. Well, they're just as awesome over at the Los Baños campus. I went to an event that they put together for Cinco de Mayo, coordinated by the Metro Club and Dr. Cindy Chavez, who's their advisor. And it kind of happened really quick because one of the students reached out to the grandson of Cesar Chavez and invited him to come to the Los Baños campus to show his documentary that he had been working on for about 2-3 years. And it was an awesome event. His name is Eduardo Hernandez Chavez, and he's 26. Basically, he's Cesar Chavez's younger brother, I believe it was. I was his son, and they were raised, pretty well, pretty rich neighborhood in San Francisco. Didn't really know anything about the Cesar Chavez cause until he went to study in LA and studying acting and filmmaking. And then he decided to really know what it's like, so he went to go pick grapes for a month to see what the struggle was all about. And that's what his documentary was all about, and how he got to know his grandfather through stepping into his shoes. And so, just an amazing documentary that hopefully will get the big screen sometime soon. So, good job to the Metro students and the clients. Trustee Ochoa and I were invited to go to Delhi to watch their inaugural presentation of the first ever high school mariachi band. Something that I've talked about for about 10 years plus. And the superintendent and principal took on that challenge, and it is part of their curriculum. It's a math class, music class in mariachi, and they were supposed to perform just one song, but they did 3 songs, and they're moving fast, so congratulations to them. And Merced College was there represented. And the last thing is, I won't be able to attend commencement ceremony because my daughter graduates from Stanislaus the same day. And it's either family or this family. That family, this family. So I will miss it, unfortunately, but I will be at the other commencement.
We'll tag you on Facebook.
Tag me on Facebook. Okay, so thank you very much. That's my report.
All right, thank you. Now, Trustee Lott.
Okay, I'm going to keep mine fairly short. Trustee Ochoa kind of went over going through the meetings with our college counselors and administration, and meeting up at the high school counselors administration. I learned a lot about these new programs, both the state and that our colleges seems to be putting together in such an effective way. And then it seems like everywhere I go, I'm able to tell people are going, oh, these things aren't going well. I go, oh no, but listen, this is what's going on now. This is how we're helping high school students move up and through, and this is how we're having them not have to take remedial classes for 2 or 3 years to get caught up. So to me, what's happening and how it's being communicated is important, and we need to do more of that. And then I just hope, that was a small room with not a lot of people, so maybe we need to do that in some bigger rooms, with more people that can listen. I'm always amazed and proud at the accomplishments of our faculty and our students. And that's part of the psychic income of sitting up here, is to be able to listen to the good things that are going on. I really appreciate everybody's hard work. I appreciate those people that are retiring and have put so much of their life in here, and there'll kind of be a little echo of them for quite a while, I'm sure, that they're leaving. It's also an exciting time where we're moving on with accomplished people that will bring their talents here. And it seems like we have a team that's going to work together really well. So it was a big change real fast, but it seems like a change that's settling. So we were up in the air for a long time. The balls were juggling, and it feels like, we just had a boring meeting where everybody voted quickly and everything was aye. And that's not the way it's always been. But it is nice to have that occasionally and get out of here by 7, right? So anyway, I just appreciate everything and everybody. I hope to make, this is my really busy time of year, so I won't make every single event this May. But we're in an ag county. So anyway, thank you for all your work.
All right. Thank you very much. My report is fairly short. I everything that I'm going to say is going to be a duplicate of what's already been said, so I'm going to skip it and say that the best sentiments of anything that I could say have already been said. Having said that, I do have kind of a special relationship with Patrick, and so I will tell you that I admire you, and as a lawyer, I think that you do such a great job advocating for the people you represent, and you do a great job, and you're a nice person, and like Trustee Jordan said, we may not always agree, but I always respect the way that you approach things, and it's a pleasure to know you, and you've done good. You've been a good legacy. And to Trustee Gill, who I had the pleasure of sitting next to for many months and have gotten to know personally, and tell you that you are very valuable. I'm very excited to see what your future has for you, because I know that it's going to be just shooting star, and I can say I knew you when, and I'll be on your True Hollywood Story and say all the stuff. But it's such an exciting thing to be friends with both of you, and then to represent Merced College and to attend all these Merced College events. So I'm going to be at lots of these. I'll see you there. And that is the end of my report.
Madam President?
Yes?
I'm sorry. I would be so remiss if I were not able to introduce my successor.
Oh, I was
Many
going to
have
ask,
done
but I didn't
before.
want to put anybody on the spot. They might not know that they were next. No.
I apologize,
No, I'm kidding.
and I'm sorry for interrupting your report, but I would like to introduce your upcoming student trustee, Alexis Lemus. She's in the audience today. She is our current
Congratulations and welcome.
Thank you.
All right, and with that, I will wrap that part up, and now I'll turn it over to President Patel.
All right, very good, thank you. I'd like to congratulate our student of the year. It's always an exciting time of the year because we go to many ceremonies and graduations, and to hear about the successes of our students reminds us as to why we do what we do, so that's very exciting. You do have at each of your spots a list of calendar events. There's no expectation that you go to all of these, but we want you to know you're invited to every single one of them, and we'd love to see you at these events. I'll highlight a few for you. You will see there are several Mariposa High School, or excuse me, the phone threw me off over there, Leo. There's several high school visits still left. There's several award ceremonies, performances, of course, graduation. We'll have the pre-graduation celebration right here in the boardroom, and then graduation's at 6 o'clock this year. And then we will be moving to a 4-day schedule starting the first week in June. So we'll have 4 10-hour days starting in June. So if you meander onto campus on Friday and no one's here, it's the way it's supposed to be. That's a good thing. In addition to that, I want to also publicly say how excited I am to welcome Kelly Fowler to the district. We're looking forward to having you. We will try to be respectful in the next several weeks as you finish up at a college that I know absolutely adores your leadership and all you've done there. But then you're all ours, and we can't wait. And so we're looking forward to having you in July. I will say that we're waiting this week for the governor's May revise. We anticipate hearing something later this week. As you all know, there's a new proposed funding formula. Yesterday, the chancellor of the system sent out his proposal to change that funding formula, and you all got to hear directly from the league as to what that is. But the new changes are now a little bit different, and I'll send that out to you so you can review. Basically, the chancellor's now proposing a 60-20-20 split, with still performance-based funding included there. So I'll send that out. Please review it. If you have questions, feel free to call me, call Joe, and we'll try to answer as many of your questions. In fact, that's against my own policy, what I just said. Call me, and I will see if we need to connect with Joe. Let's see. At the next board meeting, you'll be approving the finalized educational master plan. You've already approved the goals and objectives. This is just putting all that data together and our plan together into one package, and so that'll come to you at the next board meeting. And I'll conclude by also giving a handful of thanks, and I think it looks like Cody might have already dipped out. I've been back at Merced College in an administrator role for 4 years. 3 of those 4 years, Cody Camacho was student body president. And so I am I'm thrilled for Cody and the leadership experience he's had here at the campus. He's done a wonderful job. He's always been an advocate for students. Look forward to working with Julius, and we're going to have a fun year and continue to do some wonderful things for students. Trustee Gill, great job. Such a professional, and you've been a wonderful addition to the sport this year. Patrick, I hope that throughout my tenure as superintendent president here, I can say this many times, but it's been a pleasure to work with the union president this past year and a half. You know, that can only be a new president's dream, but you came in with an open mind. You're very professional. We didn't disagree as much as one would think, right? But when we did, we tried to see eye to eye. But it's been a pleasure working with you, and thank you for being so respectful in your role and for always advocating for your faculty. It's you're very, very collegial and professional all the time. I really appreciate that. And Shelley, great job serving as management team president. We really appreciate that. And with that, I'm going to get to see you all quite a bit in the next several weeks. So that concludes my report.
Good. Thank you very much. So this is now the time for future discussion items from board members. So one of the things that I would ask that consider, and I'd be happy to help take the lead on this, is if we were going to appoint an ad hoc committee to discuss a resolution for next month for LGBTQ plus a resolution. So I'm happy to take the lead on that. Is there anyone here who would like to join? Okay. Trustee Lashbrook.
It has to be before the next board meeting, but not May 20.
Yeah, I'll connect with you. We'll get it done. Anyone else? We can have up to one more board member, but still need to. Okay. Oh, yes.
I would like to volunteer that.
Oh, great. Okay, cool. So we'll coordinate. President Kelly will get us together. Any other agenda items that you would like for us to consider putting on the agenda? And if you don't have, I mean, if you know now, you can tell me now, but you can always connect with me offline. Okay, seeing none, we will move to agenda item 14, second closed session. There is no second closed session. And so with that, 15, we will adjourn. Thank you very much.
Mr. Alex, see you.